Welcome everyone to the podcast. It's your girl Lena Anderson
Vinise Capers. How
and we
y'all
are
doing today?
yes, and we are Women Win Together and we are back. We are here. We are going to be sharing some amazing tips. We got some updates for you on what's been going on with us.
Come on, look forward to it.
And we're going to get into some great conversation today. So, Vinise, what's been going on with you? Any updates? Anything you want to share?
I'm so excited. Yes, we have so what I'm trying to learn to do is to pace myself. Can y'all entrepreneurs understand what pacing yourself? So I've been getting a few downloads, but I have been creating a training for small businesses in healthcare so that
Oh,
we can change, so that we can change the trajectory of how people are receiving healthcare, particularly in the smaller environments and the smaller corporations, and to
mm-hmm.
bring some of my past experience, my personal experience, and obviously my professional experience, and combine those things and create a message that is really going to be hopefully heartfelt by the servers, the one who serves our family and our loved ones, so they can better offer the type of service that we want our family to receive. And then it can also grow in their own careers with a
Yeah,
different change, with a changed mind. So that's been exciting for me. What about you?
that's good. That's
Tell us a
awesome.
little bit. You like that? You think that you like
I
it? You like
do. It's
it?
necessary. It is necessary because, that's definitely one of
Yes.
the things a lot of people are fearful of with taking care of family members or, even like elderly. I used to work in the nursing home and I was afraid about the things I saw.
Mm.
Like it scared me, some of
Mm-hmm.
the things I saw.
Mm-hmm.
So that is an awesome workshop. I look forward to hearing more about that. Yeah.
Thank you so much. And I really want to do a lot of traveling when I think it's, again, I know it's necessary because I need that level of care in my own home. And as most of you know, I'm also a business consultant. So I'm just going to focus some of that consultation towards that industry for now
Right.
because it's like you said, sis, it's necessary. It's
Absolutely.
very necessary. Yeah, so I'm excited. Tell us what's going on with you,
Yes,
LA Brandon.
I've been working on opening up more services for a target market of business owners, especially new entrepreneurs, smaller businesses who are looking for video work, commercials, means of advertising, so that we can use it on different platforms. Social media has been impactful for helping people launch and brand out, but a lot of people, it's still a very visual word. Unfortunately, we don't like reading too much anymore, but everyone
Right,
likes
right.
visual. So I'm opening up a portion of my business to helping people with um, getting the visual aspect together for video, if they needed some commercial work done for television and or for social media platforms. I'm opening up that part of myself to help people not only learn best practices and the best way to push themselves out there visually, but to offer my services for editing and creation, creative directing in that area.
Oh, hello. I raised my hand. I definitely, I have been getting so many downloads. And as entrepreneurship, we know that flexibility is necessary in revisiting
Yes.
that vision and that mission and how you want to approach it. If you have to do it once, twice, three times, don't become frustrated with it, but just follow the leading that you're getting because you're getting those messages from what you're seeing and what you're hearing the people that you serve need. So I have been creating commercials for myself,
Oh,
and
wow.
what I'm going to this is so fun, and the snippets of what I would say, because short and sweet
Mhm.
is what I wanted to be. Just get to the point, make the message clear. So I raised my hand, put me on a roster.
Yes, absolutely, absolutely. It's so important that we all come together and help each other out. With what you're doing, I know that it will be a benefit for myself. As I have
Yeah.
a family member, who look, we ain't getting any younger, and and I know I want to be a instrument to help my family if there's a need that needs to be met. You know what I mean? So, I
Yes,
think it's,
yes.
like I said, it's important. I don't want my mommy in the home. I get nervous. I get nervous.
Just to think about it, for most of you know that Lena, I take care of my son. He's 29 years old,
Right.
and I'm able to work because home health care comes inside the house.
Mm-hmm.
And I tell you, sometimes the care that he does not receive, knowing that I have cameras, knowing that I'm coming home, it frightens the very core of my being to think, what would you do if he was away someplace?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
If you could do that or not do this very basic need in the home, what would you do if he wasn't in the home?
Yeah, it's frightening.
Yeah.
I
understand.
Yeah, from my experience in working in a nursing home, and I saw things and I cried. I left that job not because I couldn't do the work, but because I couldn't stand to be around what I saw. And me at that time coming in new, I was like, who do I tell without them saying they're going to fire me? Especially if there is a conglomerate, like they're working together and knowing this, like they're like, what? Oh no.
Well, I was in home health industry. I started, my life renewal started as a home health aide. So I know make sure this one is changed because her mother is here. So you can leave the one down the hall messy. You can leave the one down the hall wet because they don't have anybody come care for them. But take care of the one who has the cousin and the auntie and the sister and the daughter come in. So the message was sent that you only do it for face value purposes.
Yep.
It's horrendous to consider that.
Terrible.
It's horrendous to consider that. So we need to do something, and I want to be a part of the change as opposed to being a part of the problem. I want to be a part of the solution. Yeah. And again, I have my hands in all aspects of it. So prayerfully, any of you are listening and a home health agency or a small nursing agency and they don't have a big budget for staff training and professional development, give me a call.
Yes.
plug.
Yes. Her Gmail is empowered number 4 elevation @gmail.com. Yes. Plug.
plug. I look forward to it. Yes. And it's going to be great. I look forward to the work that we're doing. One of the things that I enjoy about Women Win Together, and of course it entails 2 separate women who have 2 separate entities and 2 separate ideas, but one common goal and one common purpose, which is to fulfill their purpose, but to do it with integrity. Yes. And so for me, one of the things that I love working with you is because integrity is your foundation and you truly believe that women win together. It's not a subtitle of something that you do so that people can swipe their credit cards or their debit cards, but you really believe, and we really believe that collaboration is empowering. So
yes, it is.
I'm so excited. I love working alongside Lena.
Yes, I do too, and it's amazing that we're coming to this topic of working together, because it's a great segue for what we're about to discuss, which is customer service. Help us.
Can somebody say please?
Look, people, let me say it's called customer service, not customer service, because sometimes, I'm gonna be honest, the experience, has been trying to take us out our Christian, Some of the experiences.
That is so cute.
Customer service. Okay.
Cuss to me. Okay. Cuss to, don't be cussing to me.
Okay. What a lot has changed.
Yes.
And I know that we can all share our experiences, which we'll share a few, but what direction do you think, Ronnie, that we need to go in to help create a better customer service experience and training for those who are in place to be of customer service?
Well, you said it. You said it in your inquiry. Experience. Customer service offers an experience, and that experience should be directly connected to your vision and the mission of the business that you have, which would ultimately produce the outcome you say you'd want.
Yes.
But what unfortunately has happened, our great, wonderful country has allowed, if you put it in writing, then it is legal for the most part. And I'm no lawyer here. So we have allowed people to almost monopolize or gouge customers.
Yes.
And this based on the need or the desperation of the need. So I know you need water. I don't have to be polite to you for you to pay your bill, because I know you need water. You can only go through me. There's only one company serving water in your area. Right. So I can pop my gum in your ear. I can be ugly with you in your ear. You got to call back, because this is the only place you can call.
Right. Right.
So I believe they fail to remember let's talk about humanity, but that there should be a positive experience within reason, because you have some customers that show up and they've had a bad day, but we're talking about the accountability of the person offering this service. They need to make sure that the people on their front line knows first, what is customer service? Do you even know what it is?
Right, exactly.
So we have to start there.
Right. And understanding that you are like a lot of people, and I understand they take a job and it's to get a paycheck, but for management and CEOs alike to have something in place to gain, so that they have an understanding that they're not just representing, I'm coming in to get a check, but understand you are an image of the brand in which we are trying to build. Like, when you have on that shirt, or when you carry the name, or when you're standing in the place of being the representative, you are carrying with you a part of the business. You're not just, who you think you are when you clock out. You are a representative of that company. So the experience of the highest rating statistically of people who don't come back to a business is because of an experience they had. It only takes one that will change the mind of a customer. It
only takes one, sis. And not only does it take one, but it takes the lack of one. So when I was that customer service representative that was begrudged that I had that position. That was begrudged because the culture of the environment. So we have to offer the responsibility to the person who stepped out and formed a business and stated that they need employees. Let's start there.
Yep.
So what happens is that oftentimes we get great dissatisfaction with our customer service because that representative is aware that their overhead and their overhead don't really care about the stakeholder who's walking in the door. Because if I was intimidated about keeping my job, you better believe I'm a smile through my attitude, I'm a smile through my pain, and I'm a smile through my frustration, because the culture that was created before I even came into the job was set in stone, and there are no compromise.
Right.
Unfortunately, money has become the only motivator. So a lot of these brands are pushing people unrealistically to reach unrealistic goals. And it is a culture and an environment that's not conducive for positive customer service.
Right. Right. And you're right. And there's also a lack of empathy. I can't understand, for the life of me, I can't understand how you can allow your ego to take hold of you when you're dealing with someone who might be taking a little longer to take their order in, or you see an elderly person who might be struggling, and you would just you forget that you don't really know their situation, and so they come up to you and they're taking a little longer, or they might need you to repeat a little bit more, and you roll your eyes and suck your teeth, or empathy is so important with
Yeah.
customer service, because you don't want, if the tables can turn, seasons do change. Okay, that's why we wear heavy coats in winter, and we might loosen up a
Tell
little bit in the
somebody.
summer.
Tell
Hello.
somebody.
but,
Tell
but
somebody.
so
Help the
you
people
never,
learn the truth.
you might be on the other side, one, and two, like, why, allow yourself to, for a moment, like, remove yourself from the rushing to get something done, rushing to, again, to get the check, and empathize with those people who are not there. The only reason you're getting paid is because they came in the building. Okay?
That that is so, you know what, the sad part about it is that when I realized I wanted to be a nurse all my life, I wanted to be a nurse. I come to realize that was very much correlated to the spiritual calling on my life. But I always wanted to be a nurse. So when life started to, when I got my second win in life, I became a CNA, and I said, let me try this first and see how it goes. I was a CNA for 4 years. And as I went through those 4 years, I watched the nursing industry change from one of empathy. I'm here for one of empathy to one of compliance.
Yes.
So now, if the nursing industry, that should be the most infused with humanity and empathy, has been overtaken by compliance, so that lawsuits and so that money can be made and lawsuits can prevent it, how much more you think the hardware store at the corner or the Walmart, everyone, these big industries are driven by compliance.
That's true.
So the people who are on the front line are overwhelmed because they offer them unrealistic expectations that they must reach, and there's no tools are given. They're not managing what's happening on the front line, because they're like, you are telling me from 3 floors high of what I need to do within an 8-hour day, and you did not include the 37 customers that was going to pull me from what you asked me to do to show them where the tissue is, or to ask them the 15-minute question. So oftentimes I try to empathize with the poor customer service representative and recognize that their overhead is sometimes provoking that.
Right. And that goes right into what I was going to ask is when it comes to customer service and the expectation of it being excellent, would be responsible for that. You just said, like, the head, like who's in charge. And I just watched in my neighborhood a whole group of young teens. It's like they're all gone now from the supermarket where my neighborhood, like, and it was like a flood of they've been fired. And I'm just like, man, if somebody had took some time out to train them, because what's going to happen when they go to the next job? This experience with them all getting laid off is going to flow into their next job, and they have no training, no understanding of what went wrong, no full understanding of what to do next. They're just going to go to the next location, and it's going to be that simple, with the same behavior that could have been corrected. But what is it about training that is not being, there's no money put aside to give proper training. There's no time and consideration to give proper training so that customer service can be a better experience for not just the customer, but for those who are giving it. Like, what would be some suggestions for that, like, to help in that area?
Well, first of all, you have to recognize that customer service is a direct correlation to your bottom line. Period. So if you are making, let's say, $5,000 a month without great customer service, you are missing out on $20,000 more. So let's just say that poor customer service is showing an interest. So you might be making it, you might be getting by, you may be even getting a profit, but you must trust that you are impeding the highest level of that. That's one.
That's true.
And to your question, as far as the budget is concerned, one of the reasons why many people are not implementing it because the cost of these other companies that come in and charge you thousands and thousands of dollars to offer you a 2 or 3 day training, when it is known that only 10% of any training that you receive, you retain.
Yep.
So you just paid a corporation $10,000. They put you on a schedule. They made you sign a contract. But because they have a name and they have a fantastic website, they have no follow through and they have no alternate supports. So not only do you need a budget, you need a realistic budget, but not only do you need a budget for training, you need a budget for sustaining.
Yes. And I love what you said there about follow through, because I know for the services that I offer, I always like to check back in. It's not even about what I get paid. Like I check back in to see how things are going regardless. And I think that's so important because one, you give somebody something to eat. Normally after, especially myself, I like to ask, was it good? Did you like it?
Right.
People who like it will ask for more. They might consider it later on. This is the same thing with your business. This is the same thing with the follow through. Check up on them. When you get served some food, the waitress helper is always coming around. Is it good? Do you like it? Can I offer you anything else? Would you like this? There's a reason for that. And when you're offering a service of training, I think it's important for that follow through because they might need some more help in a certain area. Are you willing to do that for them? It's important that we're willing to sometimes go above and beyond because we can see clearly that the need is there. The need is there.
It's there from, well, first of all, you see when you step into a place like Walmart, they have 6 machines and 1 person. They want that 1 person instead of hiring people to run between 6 people with 6 problems. And they want to make that person is supposed to be able to satisfy 6 different customers at the same time, provided they have a need at the same time. And to do it well, typically the people that one of the things that corporations have to know. I have so much to say about this, so forgive me if I ramble. Just rein me in, Lena.
No. We're good.
You have to know the demographic that you're hiring to serve.
Okay.
You have to know the demographic that you're hiring and know the demographic that you're serving, because that's how you infiltrate the kind of training you need. Yes. Do I need sensitivity training? Do I need multicultural training? Do I need professional etiquette training? Yes. So we just grabbing trainings? No, you know that you are on the corner of the most impoverished neighborhood in, let's say, Texas. Mm-hmm. So you should know, do some research, that with impoverished people, there comes frustrations and angers and agitations. Right. There comes the probability of stealing and so many things. You can't hire some fragile little young lady who has no assertiveness.
Right.
You can't hire somebody who you notice has a temperamental issue, because you're going to have brawls breaking out in your. Know who you're hiring and know who you're hiring to serve the demographic in which you are tended to serve. Exactly. Particularly when you're a small business and an entrepreneur.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Does that make sense?
It does. It absolutely does. And then we're going to jump into this. What about a lot of companies with the customer service who give you the robotic customer service?
Oh my! Get me off of this phone. You ready? You're gonna make me throw my tea. You're gonna make me throw my tea.
They've been trained, and their training is very much scripted. There's no relationship with the customer. It's just they understand the empathy side of things because clearly the script says so.
If the script says it, then it is so.
but there's a human dialogue that is being unmet because you're like, wait a minute. And so I know for me being troublesome, sometimes I like to mess with them if they, just being funny to throw them off the script because I want to. Where's the human in you? Like, am I talking to the person? Am I talking to a robot? And this is for the phone most of the time, phone customer service. And it's,
yes.
What can we say about that?
Well, unfortunately, Lena, technology have taken over. They have taken jobs. They have taken down corporations. They are taking out family. They are taking out socialization skills. Let's just take it there, okay?
Yes, yes.
And so funny that you said one of the things that we can do regarding the follow-up and regarding this robotic presentation that is offered, we need to offer authenticity.
Okay.
And there's little room and there's little autonomy for especially small businesses, because small businesses can't really afford, if we're honest, for the sake of the insurances and for the sake of things, they really can't. There's certain things they can't afford. So they need to be able to maximize on what they really need and prioritize.
Right.
Get what you need done first. And to me, customer service is a priority.
It is. It really is.
But what happens is they're hiring people who, and I'm not even going to place it on education, because I've seen the most educated people with the greatest degrees be the least empathetic and to be the most crude and most rude because they had a degree. Yes, ma'am.
Say that.
So I'm not. We're going to say it again. So I'm not even going to say that education is any longer the core dynamic that says you will get someone that you can trust on your front line.
Right.
I like the psychological surveys that based on certain answers, you can tell certain personalities. I like those.
Yeah.
Because you need certain personalities to serve certain demographic and to help form certain cultures. You don't need Nisi. But anybody who doesn't know, my name was Nisi, and that's my nickname. You don't need Nisi, the survivor, who had to survive going from one store to another, who have adopted and adapted to certain survival skills that were far less full of etiquette in a certain area where people are coming through the door that represent that very same mindset. Why? It's going to continuously trigger the person. It's going to trigger that.
That's so true.
And does that make sense?
That is so true. Yeah, that's good. That is so true.
So I need to be somewhere where I can support that, but not be buried in that.
Right.
I can support, but if every customer I serve is going to roll their eyes, throw stuff at me, tell me what I need to do because they the customer and they always right. There has been certain traumas. Let's go back to the culture. Let's go back to the culture a little bit.
Yeah.
Every customer representative is a human being that faced something in their life before they came to work.
Exactly.
So I believe small companies and all companies should have something in place for mental health and mental wellness.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Okay. Absolutely. I just slid all the way off the.
Oh no, we there. We there. It's there's so much we can dive into, but that encompasses this topic. So, what has been described to me one of your worst customer service experiences?
Oh, Father, help! Now you should not have to have a dossier of customer service.
Right.
I think I'm gonna leave it with my son. Yes. Some of the worst customer service I received taking care of my son. There was one young lady who sat on the arm of my chair years ago. She sat on the arm of my chair with her hand folded as I described to her what my son's daily needs were. He's unable to take care of any of the ADLs, they call it, the activities of daily living, washing his hair, brushing his teeth, any of those things.
Right.
So anybody in place, and I've worked, 98% of his life. So, anytime I was off work, it was because laid off or companies closed or moving.
Right.
And this young lady sat on the edge of my couch that's rude right there. She was sitting on the arm of my chair.
Okay.
With her hands folded and told me that what I was asking her to do was too much and she ain't doing it. And the task that I asked her to do was to wash his hair. And he's a boy, if we haven't noticed that I said he several times.
Right.
So he didn't have hair down his shoulders on his back. And he was still young enough where he could have been, carried to the tub or carried to the sink or bathe him. And I was just giving her an introduction of what she needed to do in regard to take care of him. And needless to say, it chased her out of my home.
Wow.
That was the worst level of custom. Now we're talking about home health.
Right. Exactly.
You are there to support someone else's well-being. And you cracked your gum and you popped your head and told me what you ain't doing, because 4 hours wasn't enough, 8 hours wasn't enough to offer my child a full bath. I don't know if anything else can top that.
Right. Interestingly enough, my worst customer experience was in the health care system as well with my son. He was about 5 or 6 years old, and he was going in to get vaccination. No, they wanted to draw blood. That's what it was, and they couldn't find his vein. And I know a lot of people have been having this experience, but he was a baby. They couldn't find his vein. And he was getting agitated because they took the needle out, kept trying to poke him again, took it out, kept poking him again, to the point where he was screaming.
Poor baby.
And trying to get out the chair. And this is what hurt. What hurt me wasn't the fact that at first I had to help hold him down. It's now that it became aggressive to where they wanted to get 3 more people to hold him down instead of just waiting and trying again maybe another day. Instead of just saying, okay, that's enough. Because now, like you said, it becomes traumatizing.
Yes.
And now you want me to come and sit on him and hold his arm while the rest of you come. What in the world?
Yes.
His blood is going to be there tomorrow and the day after. If it's not, then we won't be here. I won't be coming here to give you any. So what the thought process, like what, and I was young and I wasn't the same as I am today. And I had to let somebody know a few things. Customer service. That he's a baby. You wouldn't want that done to you. What do you think? Like, what was the thought process in straddling him down? It didn't make sense to me, and I was hurt for him. So I was so hurt for him, and I know he was traumatized.
Well, and it's sad to hear you say that, because 99% of the time that is how children are managed. And the unfortunate part about it is that you, again, knowing those you serve and knowing the ones that are called to serve the one you serve. So you would figure if you have to deal with children, they should have some developmental appropriate practices in place to know that this is how you maintain a 5-year-old, because this is the typical outcome of trying to get blood from a 5-year-old.
Right, exactly.
But my son has to be put to sleep just to get a dental cleaning.
Wow.
Because other than that, because has no vision, anything that goes into his mouth, it feels like somebody's choking him. Of course, what are you doing? What are you poking? And then he has no expressive language, so he can't ask the question that will satisfy his curiosity or his fear.
Wow.
So I completely understand that and I can imagine the colorful language.
Yeah.
On the colorful approach.
Yeah.
On the colorful approach.
I was hot, and I was different, and I was younger. So Lord, hear me and forgive me. But I like I said, I'm really looking forward to your workshop. I think look at this conversation. It's necessary. It's so necessary.
It's very necessary.
But yeah, we're looking forward to having some guests on who will, from a business perspective, from an entrepreneurship perspective, an owner's perspective, to speak to a lot of the things that they have experienced that will help all of us grow in the area in which we're working towards. So It's been great. This has been great. This conversation has been awesome.
Listen, I love having these authentic, transparent conversations because they're so necessary and they're exciting for me. It's a way for us to express what we have to offer and who we are, and to avail to those that we are called to serve, that this is authentically us. And we're here to serve with integrity. So I love that. I love that. And we're looking forward to meeting with those of you who have the same foundation.
Yes, yes, yes. Also, some good news is that Women Win Together. We're looking for, because again, the platform is Women Winning Together. We're looking for businesses who are interested in offering information related to their services so that they can be commercialized on our podcast right here with us. We can include it in between part segments of the podcast so that your brand, your business, your services can reach others through this platforms. And we're excited about that. So if you're interested in not only being a guest, but also sharing with us your services, your business information, and how people can reach you, please reach out to us at Women Win Gether, GETHER @gmail.com. And we will happily oblige and, of course, ask a few questions and to get things situated and organized. But yeah, we'll let you know all the info we need, and we'll work with you and work towards that goal, because we want to see our fellow entrepreneurs. We want to see our fellow women win, and this is what we're doing.
Yes, as always, and never to be taken for granted. We look forward to meeting with you. We look forward to talking with you. We definitely look forward to rubbing elbows with you, but most importantly, we look forward to winning with you. This is Women Win Together. I'm Vinise.
And this is Lena Anderson.
And we'll talk to you soon.